You'll have to keep an eye on that because my guys will shut that off, just so you know.
If it does, I should hear it. It should make a beep.
Yeah,
So,
not necessarily.
okay, guys, please don't do that. I'm trying to help here, okay? Hey guys, I am still in Tombstone, and I am with Nora, who is a Reiki master and teacher. And I met Nora just a little bit ago. She actually runs paranormal investigations here in this building. This building was an Undertakers building back during the 1800s, back when this was so rough. And I just had to meet this lady because she's just got some incredible stories. So speak up just a little bit.
Look it out.
All right.
I'm Nora, by the way,
That's
guys.
Nora. Nora, when I talked to you, you seemed to all just understand immediately that I was a ghost hunter into paranormal. You see things that other people don't, right?
That is correct.
And what are you seeing? I mean, what did you see when I walked in?
Hey, you have a different aura, but you also got your shirt.
No, I do
on.
have the shirt. Yeah.
So yeah, that was a big giveaway.
Okay.
But people that come into a place that does the paranormal, whether it's me, the Birdcage, or any of the other places, they either, kind of slush it off as nothing,
Right.
or you get the ones that are truly into it that really start asking the questions, kind of like what you did.
Okay.
So there is also a different aspect even when you watch someone walk in.
What is the history of this building that makes it so haunted?
The history of this building, we were the very first undertaking building in Tombstone. We were actually here before we were known as Tombstone. This building was actually officially opened in 1879 as Tarbell Undertakers.
Tarbell Undertaker.
As it became known as Tombstone, that's when we became known as Watt and Tarbell.
Okay.
We operated as Watt and Tarbell until late 1887. Our Undertakers had a falling out of some kind. I've not been able to pinpoint exactly what it is, just that it was there by paper.
Okay.
And Mr. Watt went to Prescott and Mr. Tarbell stayed here.
Mm-hmm.
We operated then as Tarbell Undertakers till 1909 in this building. So we were the very first ones here and the very last ones here.
Okay.
So we have a very long graphic history in here.
When this building was here, was this during the conflict between the Earps and the Cowboys?
Yes.
So was some of those the killed cowboys?
Yeah, we get the kid in here. A lot of people have no clue. I kind of get the twist. I don't know if it was Billy Clanton or Billy McClure or McLaury. I kind of pronounce it wrong, but one of them called themselves the Kid, and I think it was the Clanton boy. We'll get that through our obelisk, the kids here.
Oh, really?
So
that's incredible.
We've had Ike Clanton in here. Certain times of the year, we get one that says Doc, and I'll get that when I ask them to do the cane. They're not always in here. A lot of them are just the plain Janes.
Right.
The everyday people that are here. So we get to learn a little bit of a different perspective from that way because everyone only wants to think about the OK Corral.
Well, yeah.
This was there was much more history, a lot more color through here. I mean, we were the biggest town on the side of the Mississippi. We were bigger than San Francisco at that time frame. So there was a lot more to Tombstone than just that big shootout.
When I came in, you told me there was 800 spirits
They come in and
that
out.
come and go here.
Sis and I worked this as Sister Paranormal for a number of years. Kind of separated to do our own things and offer something different, even more so in our town with the real equipment as paranormal investigators. So that's how many we have documented. We get modern day people that just come in here and don't leave as well, that I'm not sure where they're coming from.
Is there a portal or a vortex or something
I think
nearby?
they follow people in and decide that they like it.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, if you go across the country or you even watch most of your shows, those people are calling spirit out.
Yes.
They are just like us. If you treat them like garbage, they're not going to want to interact.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're saying, thank you, please, I appreciate that you're coming in, because you don't have to.
Right.
They're not our paid monkeys. And I think that that's the difference.
I like that term. I've actually used the term, these are not animals. They won't
Yes.
We can't train them. They do what they want as you interact with them.
Yes.
So.
And they get tired.
Uh-huh.
They don't want to do this every night. And I don't always do it every night.
Okay.
Even when Sis and I did this together here, we did not always do it every night. You could tell when they just like, enough.
Okay.
And then there's times when I'm coming in here and I'm first starting my SCD-1 for the spirit box because it's clear through that computer.
Right.
I'll hear showtime. So yeah, I think some of them really like it. I think some of them don't. I've had my flashlights roll, but they never let me sit down with the flashlight on. They'll shut it off before I ever make it to my spot. I have clowns in here, meaning they like to pull jokes.
Right.
Men don't change, I can tell you that. We have EVPs we could never make public because they're that sexually graphic in here. Women also don't change. They can be just as much of a grump. I'm not going to use the other word that most people use with us. So even our table, the portable one right there, that is actually part of Tarbell. A lady inherited that. I was lucky to personally be able to buy it and bring it in.
Okay, amazing.
So,
and you guys there who know me, how many times have you heard me say that exact thing? It's the same after death as they were in life. That's what I've discovered.
Very much so.
I've had jokers. I've had people who are just grumpy and mean. I've had mean human spirits. Just
yeah. And, you know, we get a lot of those gunfighters in here.
Really?
And, you know, some of them are not those famous ones.
Right.
What I can tell you is I have never felt endangered in here. My sister and I have actually slept in here. We've had our group in here. And we've even played Cards Against Humanity in the very far back and drank in here. Our guys like that.
I'll bet.
Sis and I have actually had a couple of experiences where people had ill intent toward me and Sis because they were solid groups of men that came in together. The residents of this building scared them so bad they got them out. We just happened to catch them reaching for their gun before they got them out on camera because we used to run cameras all through here at night. So they can be as protective. You know, people only hear about the hauntings where people are truly afraid or they don't understand what's going on, that they don't understand that it doesn't have to be fear-based. Many actually drive their energy from fear. So if they can get that fear, they're getting energy.
Sure.
I have one in here, and I really do believe that it's my kid's dad that's passed on because I do ghost stuff. I hate scary movies.
Really?
I hate them. I do the old girl thing.
I've never been on a ghost hunt that was anything even remotely similar to a movie.
No. And Charles...
Okay, go ahead.
But anyways, he would run.
Your ex, the spirit, or your ex when he in life would do that.
Yes. And I have one that every once in a while will do that. But I have gotten his nickname Chaz afterwards. It took me a long time. And I would hear my guy say, move, run, run. And I would comply. I don't no more. Now I said, Charles, this isn't funny.
Okay.
We've had my dad come in. My dad passed away in 2014. He tells me, or my sister, today, well, we have to get our mother for her birthday, her Christmas.
Right.
And, yeah. So.
You know, you talked about that. I was doing one in Herman, which is a nearby town in Missouri. And it was a bar and a restaurant that used to be called Trooper Heaven because of all the cops that hung out there. A thief broke into like 10 buildings that night. That was the 11th. The money was in the register. Something scared him so bad he never got close to the register, which was right by the door.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree with you. A lot of these spirits can be protective.
Oh yeah, because this is their building.
Yes.
You know, I have one in here that is calling me some not so nice names because He has probably only been dead about 10 years.
Okay.
You can tell by what he's wearing. So I'm pushing him. His name is Mike. I don't know what the last name is. I know he's from Sierra Vista. He's given me that. I've tried to cross him. He won't. He says it's a trick. But he acted like this was his spot. And I was like, make no mistake. This is my building, my space.
Okay.
But I actually had a group of returnees that are very close friends. I said, this isn't Nora, the ghost host in here for you. This is Nora, this is my building Reiki master. I actually got up there. One of my friends is also a very good psychic medium, and he followed me up, and he goes, he's kind of laughing at you. I said, yeah, I know, Chris, I know. And I sat down my rules. Well, we have a main lady here. Her name is Edith. She worked here. She died here for our morticians. I actually have on our Sister Paranormal page, in the very beginning, where a medium came in and actually channeled her. She actually came in and said, no, 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 that's my girl.
Really?
So, yeah, Chris is, he's, you know, he goes, he's not real happy. I said, yeah, I know. I said, but Mike will be okay. You know, but that's what I'm saying. We get hitchhikers in that don't leave.
Okay.
And that's really across town. And then I think that many may do that in this particular town.
Right.
Because it is so accepted here.
Okay.
I don't know if you've done places, you've been everywhere. Most people are zip-lipped. They don't want to talk about the spirits.
It is getting a lot better.
This town has been open about it for years. I really don't think it has anything to do with the quartz. I don't think it has anything to do with the silver. I've never seen a jump in activity because of storm.
Okay.
Never.
Now, I have seen that, but
I've
we're in a
never,
different area.
anywhere I've ever been, I've never seen that. What I do see, the difference is the people that come to those investigations. If you are open-minded, they're more open-minded.
Okay.
They're more willing to interact with you.
You all who know me remember when Lena, the psychic out of Kansas, said there was somebody following me, and she described a man who the description was very much like my father, right down to the red complexion. And you said almost the same thing.
Almost the same things, but I did not give you a description.
Right. Now,
Told you that this one was with you. Does like to intimidate.
And I've never known my dad to intimidate women, but he was intimidating to men, that's for sure.
This one was right up behind me. And for me, that's a sign that I am intimidating.
Okay.
So, which doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing. That means that as somebody that is also very strong-willed, it's my way or no way, kind of.
Yeah, he was that way.
Do that. It is your father following you around. If he thought I was bringing you into an area that you're going to get hurt, my father is probably here. My father is very protective over his girls, so there could have been some of that clash going on.
That could be. Okay, that makes sense.
But no, he came up behind me like, hey.
Tell me about the shapeshifter again.
The shapeshifter, that one, that's big taboo. I personally
By big taboo, you mean you don't need, it's wrong to speak of it?
The natives do not believe that that's supposed to be spoken.
Okay.
It is actually their oral tradition that, especially with the Navajo, the Pima, also a lot of the southwestern natives here believe in shapeshifters.
Okay.
Up until about 3 years ago, I would have told you I did not believe in them. My own personal experience on my other side in the store, feeling the guy climb into me. Spoke very broken English, which is not normal for any Native Americans in this time frame.
Right.
You could tell he was struggling for the English language.
Right.
And he grabbed my hand and traced my M and rolled it up and told me I had very strong bear medicine. A lot of people don't understand that that's the medicine clan for women.
Okay.
Across natives, and I do have a lot of native blood in me. I only have one tribe that have the animal tribes. and that's my Creek Indians.
Okay.
So for him to even pick up on that was something. The M, not very many people have the M's or much less palms that are identical.
Right.
But I could feel that energy. And I've actually had another shaman that said it's coming back at me. We'll see.
Did the other shaman, or do you know why he came in here to begin with and why he's coming back?
No. They don't say that. My grandfather actually delivered stuff to the Navajo, so I've learned a lot of those as a very, very young child, along with my own learning. Their theory is they're actually truly shaman. That we did shaman work for the good, but then they shifted to the dark.
Okay.
So for the native side, having a shapeshifter coming at you is not a good omen, because they're coming after you not for the good. I'm not worried about that because I know who my savior is. So, I don't even worry about the demonics because number one, what they can do is hurt you, but they're not going to take your soul if it belongs to somebody else.
Okay.
So I don't fear that, which I think a lot of people kind of go, and I'm like, you know, if you're going to do this work, you better be prepared spiritually before you do this.
Well, I do fear that because of the way they can attack through the families.
Yes.
But as far as if they kill me, I don't mind dying. I just don't want to see my family suffer.
Yeah.
So,
But
tell me about
your... keep your family spiritually grounded too.
Yeah. Tell me about the Eastern State Penitentiary.
Me, my sister, and they're friends of ours, but Jeff's more like a brother to me and sister and his mother. We went there, and they're part of our group.
Okay.
We went into one of the sections that people don't typically go into, I think, is a lot because it wasn't really cleaned. I know during the daily stuff they don't. And we let one of the people go. And because nobody had ever asked her, and she'd been there forever. And I said, well, you know what? You can come with us. We're fine. I don't have a problem with people tagging along.
Okay.
And all of us are sensitive to some degree. We are all Reiki masters. 2 of us are Reiki master teachers. The other 2 are just Reiki masters. And they're like, oh, that's a kid. And even the lady with us thought it was a kid. And I was like, yeah, that's not a kid. And I started getting scratched across my back in the 3s.
Right.
I kind of embarrassed Jeff because I pulled my shirt off and I'm like, look, this is not a kid. My sister and I actually have it on our Sister Paranormal page. You can see the Black Angel as we're
the picture you showed me. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
The one that I showed you with that's really black with the really dark mask. Jeff's also a preacher.
Okay.
And so him and I actually took it on while my sister was kind of helping guard.
Okay, guys, I just had to get up because her friends here keep turning my camera off.
You may hear some of them talking to you. I have a little girl that really likes to play with stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So,
the ghosts keep turning the camera off. It's supposed to last 15 minutes. I think it's been lasting about 7.
If that.
If that. But anyway, you were talking about...
But we actually had to take it on. Now, Jeff kind of actually, because it really went hard at her, or at him. And as a preacher, he's really set anyways. But we're also both engineers. So we're looking at stuff from a total different aspect to start with. And he says, and I'm going to, is it all right if I cuss?
Go ahead.
He says, you really do not know who you are fucking. And, we start and he's gone. And I said, Jeff, and he says, which he's like me. How dare you question my faith? It pisses me off.
Okay.
And I think that you either A, have to get to that point if you're dealing with that, but you also have to be able to bring it in from a love space to send them on because they cannot handle love.
True.
Demons do not like that.
They don't understand laughter either.
No,
they cannot grasp laughter.
No. They're very angry, miserable.
Creatures, I
But
guess.
they're actually fallen angels.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that is the truth. Is a lot of people really don't read their Bible, but the giants, the ones that are bred with humans, those are your fallen angels.
Okay.
They were condemned for coming down here and breeding with us. So that's
Okay.
miserable.
Tell me why these folks, and I have a lot of folks who are really into ghost hunting, why should they come to Tombstone? Aside from Wyatt Earp and the gunfight, what's here for them?
You are into the ghost stuff. I don't care whether it's my building, whether it's the bird cage, whether it's my sister's building, whether you're going out to Boot Hill, or you go out to our courthouse, or just any of the buildings here.
Any building.
If you spend time in there, even on our streets at night, when it is quiet, you can find the ghost.
Okay.
There's several of us that actually open our doors, not only on a nightly deal. My sister has her own place, I do, and the bird cage, where people can come in. My sister and I actually have the equipment. I don't know what the bird cage has, but we also allow people to bring their own. We all three have privates, which means that you can come in and do what you want to. You're not in that group situation.
Okay.
So it can be a little bit different. Nobody's allowed at Boot Hill at night. Number one, we have too many rattlesnakes here. We also have mountain lions that come in.
Wow.
And the javelina.
Because I was out there today, or during the day.
Yeah, and javelina at night. And javelina can get very aggressive. A lot of people do not realize that.
What is this?
Javelina is, a lot of people think that it's a wild pig, but it's really not
Okay.
not any relation to the pigs at all.
Okay.
But that's what it looks like. And they can be this big to this big, but if you have a mama and a papa with babies, they get mean.
Okay.
And their tusks are razor sharp.
Where is your sister's place? What is it called?
She's down on 4th Street, and I believe that it's Western Gifts is what she's calling it now. She's down by the rose tree. She does have activity. I've been in that building alone with her as well. So she does use the equipment. She's really good at what she does.
Okay.
She's going to tell you she does not see or anything. I have proof after we did the slaughter ranch and offered it up, and then our group went out there alone.
You all was at the slaughter ranch?
Oh, yes.
Oh, and what'd you find out there?
A lot.
Okay, we'll save that for another day. Because I'll call you one day and get you on my podcast too, because I love this.
I'm actually working on a DVD. I've been working on it for 9 months. That's how much stuff we got out there.
Oh, that's incredible.
So
How will these folks be able to get hold of you?
they can look me up on Facebook at Nora's Place. If they go to Sister Paranormal, they will see where I have my place and my sister has hers. Her place, she has a storefront name, but she actually does hers as Ghost Hunters of Spirited Tombstone, I believe.
Okay.
I just did mine as Nora's Place because I figured that it covers the gamut, because I also do readings and I do energy work. So I do a lot more than what Sis does. I eventually want to start bringing people in to teach them mediumship in here. Number one,
Oh, someone needs to.
you have to work. I can't sit here and do what I do on a nightly basis and improve my skills. But if I have a bunch of mediums in here or psychics in here, we improve each other's because we raise the vibration up.
So what would be the website exactly for your...
It's actually on Facebook for both of us.
Okay.
It's Nora's Place. Nora''S Place.
Okay.
So that's actually my name. So
And then they can also use that to get hold of you for...
for the ghost
Ghost hunting here?
investigations as well.
Okay.
I
You
do
have
have
a phone number?
Yep, I do. It's
is
510-210-2183.
You heard it. All right.
So I
Well,
do
Nora,
appreciate it.
I thank you for letting me come in. This has been incredible. And I keep hearing noises back here. Is that...
Yes, that's my guys.
Is that your friends? Okay. Well, at least they left the camera
I'm actually
going.
surprised. They usually mess with my lights as well. And I want you to look. You can see that all my lights in here are interconnected to the same circuit.
Uh-huh.
I am telling you as an engineer, one light should not be messed with.
Right.
If one does it, all of them should do it. They manipulate one at a time.
Okay.
I can't keep, they blow them.
Mm-hmm.
They should not blow like that.
So if you guys are looking to ghost hunt, here's the place to come to. The whole town is crazy haunted, plus you got Nora's place. So you guys got to get down here. Thank you again.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of surprised that she left it on after that second time.
Well,
Because I kept seeing her sit up there.
oh yeah?
She is.
Well, she is welcome to look. Just don't shut it off, please.